We will now discuss an all-important concept in graphing, the slope of a line. What is the meaning of the word slope? If you look at my aluminum rod pointer, well, I'm holding it horizontal. Now, we say it is not sloping. Now, if something is horizontal, then it is not sloping. But look at the way it begins to slope. Now, this has a slope now. What does that mean? It means if I want to go forward, every time I take a step forward, I also have to go up. Is that right? Take one step forward to reach my pointer, I have to go up. This is sloping upward, and this is sloping downwards. So you have a fair idea what slope is. Now, what is the meaning of slope of a graph? The graph of a linear equation is a straight line. What is the meaning of slope of that straight line graph? Now, let me see if I can give you some qualitative understanding of the slope. Now, you know your graph has an x-axis and a y-axis. Now, suppose you work for 1 hour, how many dollars you earn? Let's say y equal to 10x is the equation that connects y equal to 10x is the equation that connects the number of hours you work and the amount of money you earn. What does this mean? It means every time you work 1 more hour, your money will increase by $10. You see that? So I start here at 0. When I complete 1 hour, the money I have in my pocket will increase by $10. So if I have this is 10, then this point will be 110. So I work for 1 hour, the money in my pocket goes up by $10. Now, if I work 1 more hour, the money in my pocket will be 20. Now look at how the line slopes. What does that mean? It means every time I work 1 more hour, the money in my purse or in my pocket goes up by $10. You see that? It is not horizontal, but it is sloping. Now, suppose you earn $20 an hour. What will be the equation for your earnings? For every hour you work, you earn $20. The equation will be y equal to 20x. What is the difference between the graph of this equation? What is the difference between the graph of y equal to 10x and y equal to 20x? Well, in this case, every time you work 1 hour, the money in your pocket will go up by $20. So let's see how the graph of this look. I start here at 0. I work for 1 hour. The amount of money is $20. Now I work for 1 more hour. I get $20 more. Now look at the graph of that equation. This is the graph of y equal to 10x. That means at the end of every 1 hour you get $10. This is the graph of y equal to 20x. At the end of every 1 hour you get $20. Which of these two lines has a greater slope? You see? The blue line has a greater slope. What does that mean? It means your rate of change. What is the meaning of rate of change? You work one more hour. The red line tells you for every 1 hour, the money you earn will increase by $10. Now, this is called the rate at which the money increases, isn't it? Every 1 hour, the money will increase by $10. The rate of increase of the money. In the blue line, at every 1 hour, the money increases by $20. The rate of increase is 20. So what does actually slope represent? Slope actually represents a rate of change. If the rate of change is greater, the slope is greater. If the rate of change is small, the slope is small. If the rate of change is zero, you see, you keep going without working, you do not work. How much will the money increase in your pocket after 1 hour? Well, after 1 hour you look in your pocket, there is still nothing. After another hour you look in your pocket, there is still nothing. So there is the rate of change is zero. You are not earning any money. The slope is zero. If y equal to 10x, the rate of change is 10. Every 1 hour, the money increases by 10. Y equal to 20x. The rate of change is 20. Every 1 hour, the money increases by $20. Alright? So you got a qualitative understanding of what a slope is. Let's build it in a more concrete way now. Okay, and for that I want you to go back, and we are going to go back and discuss the same example we used in building the concept of graph. Consider the equation y equal to 2x. Do you remember that equation? This is the equation where my neighborhood girl came and told me that she's going to walk for charity and I have to pay her. Now, how much do I pay her? For every 1 kilometer she walks, I'm paying her $2. So, every time she walks 1 kilometer, I pay $2, or she gets $2. Y equal to 2x. When you walk 1 kilometer, x is that variable, you collect $2. Y represents the amount of dollars. Now, when x equal to 2, what does that mean? When x equal to 2, you walk 2 kilometers, how much do you collect? Y equal to 2 times 2, that is 4. And I'm going to call that x1 equal to 2, then y1 equal to 4. You see, this is one ordered pair. Alright, we will write it like this: x1, y1 equal to 2, 4. You walk 2 kilometers, then you collect $4. Alright, what happens when you walk 4 kilometers? Then you collect $8. We have now another ordered pair. If x2 equal to 4, then y2 equal to 8. That means x2, y2, another ordered pair, is 4, 8. When you walk 4 kilometers, you collect $8. Alright, you know this. If x represents the input values for the equation, then y represents the output values. And therefore, if you look at each of these ordered pairs, when the input equal to 2, the output equal to 4. That is one ordered pair. When the input equal to 4, the output equal to 8, that is another ordered pair. Alright, I have those two ordered pairs here. Let me ask you, what does the quantity x2 minus x1 represent? You see, x2 minus x1 represents a change in the value of the input, isn't it? This represents the change in the input value. You see, the girl only wanted to walk 2 miles in the beginning. She changed her mind and walked 2 more miles. She walked 4 miles. So x2 minus x1 is 4 minus 2. That is 2. That represents a change in the value of the input. Then y2 minus y1 represents a change in the value of the output. You see that? When x changed from 2 to 4, y changed from 4 to 8. So the change in the input value is 4 minus 2, and the change in the output value is 8 minus 4. In general, we would say x2 minus x1 is a measure of the change in the input, and y2 minus y1 is a measure of the change in output. Very important concept in mathematics. In our particular example, x2 minus x1 is 4 minus 2 equal to 2 kilometers. In other words, the girl decided to walk 2 more kilometers. Alright? Then y2 minus y1 is 8 minus 4 equal to $4. It tells me that when the girl walked 2 more kilometers, she will collect $4 more. When the input changed by 2 kilometers, the output changed by $4. Alright, so when the input changed by 2 units, the output changed by 4 units. Okay? When you walk 2 more kilometers, you collect $4 more. Alright, let's now put this in perspective. How much more will you collect when you walk 1 more kilometer? You see? How much more will you collect? When you walk 2 more kilometers, you collected $4 more. In other words, when the input changed by 2 units, the output changed by 4 units. The question is, when the input changes by 1 unit, how much will the output change? In other words, when the girl walks just 1 more kilometer, how much will her earnings go up? It will go up by $2. Now, this quantity has a great significance in mathematics. Look at this quantity. The change in the output divided by the change in the input is called the rate of change of the output. The rate of change of the output. What is the meaning of the rate of change of the output? When the input increases by just 1 unit, how much does the output increase? When you walk 1 more kilometer, how much more money you get? The rate of change of the input. When you work 1 more hour, how much will your money increase? That is the rate of change of the output. Now, change in the output divided by the change in the input is called the rate of change of the output. And you can write it like this. Isn't this the change in the output? y2 minus y1. And x2 minus x1 is the change in the input. So, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 is called the rate of change of y. Y is the output with respect to x, with respect to the input. You walk 1 more kilometer, how much more money you get. That is the meaning of the rate of change. In our example, what is the rate of change? Y2 minus Y1 we saw is $4. X2 minus X1 is 2 kilometers. In other words, when you walk 2 more kilometers, you collect $4 more. You see? Change in the output divided by the change in the input. And what is that? $4 divided by 2 kilometers. Look at the way I wrote it. It is $2 per kilometer. That means for every 1 more kilometer she walks, she will collect $2 more. You see that? It is a measure of the rate of change. This means that every time X changes by 1 unit, that means you walk 1 more kilometer, then Y will change by 2 units. The amount of money will increase by $2. Okay, let's put it all together. The rate of change of the output with respect to the input is called the slope of the graph. So the slope tells you how much is the rate of change. That is a measure of the slope. And we will use the lowercase m to represent the slope of the graph. In that case, can you tell me what is the equation that we can use to write, what is the equation that will represent the slope of a graph? Slope of a graph is the rate of change of the output with respect to the input. If x1, y1 is a point on the graph and x2, y2 is another point, what does it mean? x1 changed to x2. What is the change in the value of x? x2 minus x1. Then y1 changed to y2. What is the change in the value of y? y2 minus y1. Then what is the slope? Slope is change in the value of y, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. This is the basic definition of slope in mathematics. I want you to understand the meaning of this. What does it mean? Slope equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. It means it is a measure of the change in the output divided by the corresponding change in the input. In other words, it is a measure of the rate of change. Now tell me, what is the slope of the line y equal to 3? Y equal to 3. What does y equal to 3 mean? Y equal to 3 means no matter what happens to x, the value of y will be always 3. It means y will not change. If y will not change, what is the rate of change? Will be 0. You see, y equal to 3, it says I am not going to change. I will be always called y equal to 3. I am not going to change. It has no slope. It has no rate of change. If you walk along this line called y equal to 3, the x values will keep on changing. Look at this. This is the line y equal to 3. Suppose you walk along this line, you see the values of x will change from -7, -6, -5, -4, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. X will keep on changing, but y will always remain a constant. Y will not change. Right? Now, you move from 2, 3, this is 2, 3, to 7, 3, to 10, 3. The values of x changed, but the y values did not change. This is the same as you are sitting at home and not going to work. You see, the number of hours will keep on passing, but no money will fall in your pocket. You see that? There will be no change in the amount of money in your pocket as time goes on. Okay, y equal to 3 is a horizontal line and its slope equal to 0. What is the slope of a horizontal line? The slope of a horizontal line is 0. Why? Because it does not represent a change in the output. Alright, the slope of a horizontal line is 0. Let's now look at the graph of y equal to 2x. Alright, how does the graph look? Now, 2, 4 is an ordered pair of this equation. Is that right? When x equal to 2, y will be equal to 4. 2, 4 is an ordered pair. 4, 8 is another ordered pair. Let's mark this point, 2, 4. There you are. What does it mean? It means you have walked 2 kilometers and you have collected $4. So you are at that point. It means you have walked 2 kilometers and you have collected $4. Alright, there you are. And now, what does this mean? You decide now to walk. So suppose you are at 2, 4. It means you have walked 2 kilometers and collected $4. Alright, so you are now standing here. What do you want to do? You want to walk 2 more kilometers. You decide to walk 2 more kilometers. So from x equal to 2, you are now going to go to x equal to 4. You want to walk 2 more kilometers. What will happen to the amount of money? The amount of money will rise. The amount of money will rise by $4. There you are. The amount of money from 4, it will go to 8. So I want you to watch this. Look at this horizontal line. What does that represent? This line represents x2 minus x1. x2 is 4, x1 is 2. x2 minus x1 is 4 minus 2 equal to 2. That represents change in the input. What does this represent? That represents the change in the output. y2 minus y1. y2 is 8, y1 is 4. So y2 minus y1 is 8 minus 4 equal to 4. It means when you walked 2 more kilometers, the amount of money rose by $4 more. When the input changed by 2 units, the output changed by 4 units. So the slope of the line is, isn't this the definition of the slope? The change in the output, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. What is the change in the output for us? 8 minus 4 is the change in the output, and the change in the input is 4 minus 2, and that will be 4 divided by 2 equal to 2. The slope of this line, the slope of the graph of y equal to 2x equal to 2. What does it tell you? Every time x changes by 1 unit, y will change by 2 units. Alright, can you then tell me, what is the slope of the graph of the equation y equal to 5x? What is the slope of the graph of this equation? It will be 5, is that right? Every time x changes by 1 unit, y will change by 5 units. So, if the slope of the graph of the equation y equal to 2x is 2, then the slope of the graph of the equation y equal to 5x will be 5. And the slope of the graph of the equation y equal to 2.8x will be 2.8. Is that right? Yes. Okay, let's move on. When you walked 2 more kilometers, the money you collected rose by $4. When you walked 2 more kilometers, that is walk equal to 2 kilometers. You walked 2 more kilometers, the money you collected rose by $4. The rise is $4. And so, an easy way to remember the equation of the slope, you can say equation of the slope is rise divided by walk, isn't it? The change in the output divided by the change in the input. We can sort of use as a form of equation that can be easily remembered. Slope is rise divided by walk. How much did the money rise? $4. And the money rose when you walked 2 more kilometers. Rise divided by walk is slope. Alright, let's do a couple of problems. Find the slope of the line that passes through the points 2, 3 and 5, 4. You want to find the slope of a line that contains these 2 points. Well, what does that mean? The first point is what we call x1, y1. The value of x1 is 2, then the value of y1 is 3. Alright, let's mark that. x1, y1 is 2, 3 is here. That is the point 2, 3. And the second point we call x2, y2. So in this case, x1 equal to 2 and y1 equal to 3. The second point is x2, y2 equal to 5, 4. Can you mark that? X equal to 5, y equal to 4 is here. That's the point 5, 4. It means your x2 equal to 5 and y2 equal to 4. Alright, can you tell me, look at the graph of the equation. What is the equation for the slope? The equation for the slope is m equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Change in the output divided by the change in the input. You must understand that concept very well. Now what is y2 minus y1? Look at this. y2 is 4, y1 is 3. y2 minus y1 is 4 minus 3. And x2 is 5, x1 is 2, x2 minus x1 is 5 minus 2. It means the slope is 1 over 3. 1 over 3. Look at this. 1 is the rise when the walk is 3. When you walk 3 units, you will rise by 1 unit. Look at this equation. If you stand at any particular point, say here, well, let's say we stand here. You walk 1 unit, your rise will be, you walk 3 units. Look at this. Walk from here, 1, 2, 3, walk 3 units, then you rise 1 unit. From 2, 3, you walk 3 units, 1, 2, 3, and rise 1 unit, you are back on the line. This is true for any point. Look at this. I'm going to start here. I'm going to walk 3 units. 1, 2, 3. And how much do I rise? 1 unit. I'm back on the line. So the slope of this line is 1 over 3 means anywhere on the line, you can stand anywhere on the line, and walk 3 units, then the rise will be 1 unit. That is the meaning of the slope. Alright, let's do another one. Find the slope of the line that passes through -3, 5 and 5, -3. Well, as usual, we call the first point x1 equal to -3, y1 equal to 5, and mark this. X equal to -3, y equal to 5 is that point, -3, 5. So your x1 equal to -3, y1 equal to 5. What is my second point? Second point, x2, y2 equal to 5, -3. Can you mark that? 5, -3 is this point. That means your x2 equal to 5 and y2 equal to -3. And this is the graph of the equation that contains these 2 points. We are looking for the slope of this graph. Alright, what is the equation of the slope? You know the equation, don't you? Slope m equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And y2 is -3. Be very careful here. y2 is -3, y1 is 5. So y2 minus y1 is -3 minus 5. -3 minus 5. And x2 minus x1. x2 is 5. x1 is -3. So what is x2 minus x1? It's 5 minus -3. Watch that very carefully. Alright, what is this equal to? -5 minus 5 is -8 on the numerator. And the denominator, the double negative. 5 minus -3 is 5 plus 3. That is equal to -8 divided by 8. That is -1. What does that mean? The slope is a negative quantity. Now look at the graph here. What it tells you is that I can write -1 as -1 over 1. Is that right? It means when I walk 1 unit, I have to now, you see, in this case, in place of rise, you are falling. You see, I walk 1, then I fall 1 unit. That is the meaning of -1. You see, this time the slope is negative. That means when the input increases, the output decreases. A positive slope means when the input increases, the output also increases. In the case of your going to work, each time you work 1 more hour, the amount of money earned increases. You see that? The slope is positive. In this case, the slope is negative. Means each time the input increases by 1 unit, you go 1 unit to the right, the output decreases. You got to go down 1 unit to reach the line. So the slope is -1 means every time the input increases by 1 unit, the output decreases by 1 unit. That is the meaning of the negative slope. M equal to -1 means that when the input increases by 1 unit, the output decreases by 1 unit. You see, you put $100 in your pocket and go shopping. What happens to the amount of money in your pocket as you keep on shopping for more time? As time increases, you do more shopping, the amount of money will decrease. You can see the rate of change there is negative. Let's try this one. Find the slope of the line that passes through points 2, negative 4, and negative 5, negative 3. Well, our first point is x1, y1 is 2, negative 4. So let's mark that. X equal to 2, y equal to negative 4. That is our first point. It means the value of x1 equal to 2, the value of y1 is negative 4. The second point is x2, y2 is negative 5, negative 3. Where is the point? Negative 5, negative 3 is there. That means your x2 equal to negative 5, y2 equal to negative 3. And this is the graph of the line that contains these 2 points. We need to find the slope of this line. What is the equation for the slope? Equation is m equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Can you do this for me? y2 minus y1. y2 is negative 3, y1 is negative 4. What would that be? It will be negative 3 minus negative 4. You're subtracting a negative number. So y2 minus y1, negative 3 minus negative 4, divided by x2 minus x1. x2 is negative 5, x1 is 2. Therefore, x2 minus x1 is negative 5 minus 2. Alright? That means negative 3 minus negative 4. The double negative becomes positive. That is negative 3 plus 4. And what is negative 5 minus 2? Is negative 7. And so, negative 3 plus 4 is positive 1. Positive 1 divided by negative 7 is negative 1 over 7. What does it tell you? The slope is negative 1 over 7. What does the negative mean? It means every time the input increases, the output will decrease. So if you walk 7 units, for every 7 units you walk, you will fall by 1 unit. Not rise. Rise will be upward. Fall is downward. Now look at this graph. Start here. You walk 7 units. Let's walk 7 units. From here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you fall 1 unit. You are on the graph. That is the meaning. For every 7 units you walk, you fall by 1 unit. You can do it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You walk 7, fall 1 unit, you are back on the graph. So the slope of this graph is negative 1 over 7. Every time the input changes by 7 units, the output will fall or decrease by 1 unit. That is the meaning of that slope. Let's try another one. Find the slope of the line that passes through the points 2, 3 and 2, negative 3. That's interesting because you notice they have the same x value. Alright, x1, y1 equal to 2, 3. The point is x equal to 2, y equal to 3. x1 equal to 2, y1 equal to 3. The second point is 2, negative 3. 2, negative 3 is right there. There you are. x2 equal to 2, y2 equal to negative 3. What kind of a line is it that contains these 2 points? Look at that. It is a vertical line. So the question is, what is the slope of a vertical line? Well, Let's do that. Slope equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. y2 is negative 3, y1 is 3, so y2 minus y1 is negative 3 minus 3. And x2 equal to 2, x1 also equal to 2, x2 minus x1 is 2 minus 2, which is 0. So look at the slope. The slope is negative 6 divided by 0. What is the value when a rational number has its denominator 0? What is the value of negative 6 divided by 0? When the denominator is 0, that number becomes undefined. Its value will be so large, so huge, we will not be able to determine it. You see, as the slope increases, look at that. The slope increases, 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 increases. It increases without bounds, and finally, when the line is vertical, the slope is so large, it becomes undefined. So the slope of a vertical line is undefined. The slope of a vertical line is undefined. Don't forget that. Tell me, what is the slope of a horizontal line? The slope of a horizontal line is 0. There is no rate of change. As the slope increases, the rate of change increases, increases, and increases without bounds. And finally, when the line is a vertical line, the slope is undefined. All right. So, what is the equation of this vertical line? Look at this. Everywhere x equal to 2. You can take many more points on this line. The x value will be 2. So the equation of that line is x equal to 2. Find the slope of the line that has points A and B on it and write the equation of this line. Well, you know that the slope of a horizontal line is 0. And what is the equation of this line? This is a horizontal line that cuts the y-axis at y equal to 5. Its y-intercept is 0, 6. X equal to 0, look at that. Y-intercept, the point where the graph cuts the y-axis. X equal to 0, y equal to 6. I have actually drawn the line at y equal to, this is actually 0,5, not 0,6. Is that right? Yes, let me correct that. It is 0,5, not 0,6. Because this is a horizontal line that cuts the y-axis at y equal to 5. Okay. This is the y-intercept, that is 0,5. I want you to correct that. It's not 0,6, it is 0,5. Anywhere on this line, the value of y equal to 5 again, not 6. And therefore, the equation of the line is y equal to 5, not 6. The equation of the line is y equal to 5. Okay. Find the slope of this line that contains points A and B. You can answer that right away. The slope, this is a vertical line. The slope is undefined. And the equation of that line is x equal to -5. You know that, don't you? Okay, let's move on. Now, you know that the slope of the graph of y equal to 2x is 2. We talked about this. When x changes by 1 unit, y will change by 2 units. The slope of the graph of the equation y equal to 2x is 2. When x changes by 1 unit, y changes by 2 units here. Well, if y equal to 3x, then it will change by 3 units. In this case, when x changes by 1 unit, y will change by 2 units. Now watch me do that. I'm standing at this point. I'm going to change x by 1 unit. I'm going to walk 1 unit to the right. Now x is changed by 1 unit. How much did y change? I need to now rise 2 units to reach the line. When x changes by 1 unit, y changes by 2 units, not 3. I have many typing errors in this lesson. Alright, take care of that. So, once again, you can start anywhere. X changes by 1 unit, y will change by 2 units. If you start here, x changes by 1 unit, y will change by 2 units. Alright. And that is y equal to 2x. Tell me, what is the slope of the graph of the equation y equal to 3x? When x changes, this is the graph of the equation y equal to 3x. There you are. When x changes by 1 unit, y will change by 3 units. Now, I'm going to start here. Now, are you watching me? Where am I now? I'm at x equal to 1, y equal to 3. Alright, I'm going to walk 1 unit to the right. That means x increased by 1. How much did y increase? I got to go now 1, 2, 3 units to reach the line. So when x changes by 1 unit, y changes by 3 units, y equal to 3x. The slope of that line is 3. There you are. Now the slope of the graph of an equation, if I give you a general equation, y equal to mx, then the slope will be given by that m, the coefficient of x. So, the slope of the graph of an equation of the form y equal to mx plus b is m. Alright? Now, I have drawn another graph here. Can you tell me what the equation of this graph is? If you look at this green line and this green line, they have the same slope. Look at that. What is the slope of this green line? Slope is 2. That means every time x changes by 1 unit, y changes by 2 units. Look at here. In this case, x changes by 1 unit, y changes by 2 units. X changes by 1 unit, y changes by 2 units. These two have the same slope, but this line is raised up by 7 units. Therefore, this equation is, I can write the equation as y equal to 2x plus 7. This has been raised 7 units up. So, the equation of that line, let me bring it back. The equation of this line is y equal to 2x plus 7. You notice that the slope is the same in both cases. This line and that line have the same slope. So, I want you to get familiarized with this. If I give you an equation of the form y equal to mx plus b, what does that m represent? M represents the slope of the graph of the equation. Okay, let's now talk about parallel lines. What are parallel lines? How does the graph of y equal to 2x differ from the graph of y equal to 2x plus 5? If you understood my explanation in the previous one, you must be able to tell me this. Now look at the graph of y equal to 2x. Every time x changes by 1 unit, y will change by 2 units. This is the graph of y equal to 2x. And what is the graph of y equal to 2x plus 5? What all you need to do is take this line and raise it by 5 units. It will come here. There you are. This is the graph of y equal to 2x plus 5. It is being raised by 5 units. Now what you notice, they have both the same slope. This is y equal to 2x, and this is the graph of y equal to 2x plus 5. You simply raise it up by 5 units. They both have the same slope, but y equal to 2x passes through 0, 0. You see the origin. Y equal to 2x passes through the origin, but y equal to 2x plus 5, look where it cuts the y-axis. At 0, 5. The graph of the equation y equal to 2x plus 5 will cut the y-axis at y equal to 5. You see that number? That number tells you where on the y-axis the graph will cut. And its y-intercept is 0, 5. This is the y-intercept 0, 5. So, lines having the same slope are parallel lines. So what is the characteristics of parallel lines? Parallel lines have the same slope. Y equal to 2x has a y-intercept of 0. You see, y equal to 2x can be written as y equal to 2x plus 0. It has a y-intercept 0, it cuts the graph at the origin. Whereas y equal to 2x plus 5 will cut the y-axis at y equal to 5. Its y-intercept is x equal to 0, y equal to 5. Alright? Let's now talk about perpendicular lines. When will lines become perpendicular? How does the graph of y equal to 2x differ from the graph of y equal to negative 1/2 x? I'm going to draw both graphs for you. This is the graph of y equal to 2x, and this is the graph of y equal to negative 1/2 x. What does the negative 1/2 represent? It is the slope. Now I'm going to write that down here. The slope of that line is m equal to negative 1/2. What does it mean? It means you walk 2 units, then you fall 1 unit. Look at this. I'm going to stand here on the line, walk 2 units, then fall 1 unit to come back to the line. Anywhere on the line, start here, walk 2 units, I need to fall 1 unit to come down to the line. That is the meaning. The slope of that line is negative 1/2. So, for y equal to 2x, an increase in x will cause an increase in the value of y. Look at that. If the line is increasing to the right, an increase in x will result an increase in the output. Whereas, for y equal to negative 1/2 x, an increase in x will result a decrease in y. So y equal to 2x is called an increasing graph. What is the characteristic of an increasing graph? For an increasing graph, the slope will be positive. Whereas y equal to negative 1/2 x, an increase in the value of x will result in a decrease in the value of y. The rate of change is negative, or we say the slope is negative. Therefore, this is a decreasing graph. You see, as x increases, the output will decrease. The graph of y equal to negative 1/2 x is perpendicular to, can you see that? Y equal to 2x and the graph of y equal to negative 1/2 x are at right angles. They are perpendicular to each other. Look at the slopes of these. What is the slope of this line y equal to negative 1/2 x? The slope is, I'm going to call it m1. m1, the slope of this line is negative 1/2. And the slope of the other line y equal to 2x, I'm going to call m2, and that is equal to 2. The slope of the first line is negative 1/2. The slope of the second line is 2. Tell me, if I multiply the two slopes, what is the value of negative 1/2 multiplied by 2? Is negative 1. So, if two lines are perpendicular, then the product of their slopes will be equal to negative 1. This is true for all perpendicular lines. What is true? If two lines are perpendicular, then the product of their slopes will always be negative 1. m1 times m2 will be equal to negative 1. Alright, let's look at a question. Determine if the given pair of lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. I have given you two lines, negative 4x plus 3y equal to 4, negative 8x plus 6y equal to 0. Now, there is one thing that we're going to use in here. Do you know that we said if the equation is written like this, y equal to mx plus b. You see, if the equation of a line is given in this form, y equal to mx plus b, what does m stands for here? M is the slope of the line. What does b stands for? B tells you where on the line, where on the y-axis the graph will cut. We are interested in this quantity, the slope. So, if you want to find the slope of this line that is given in the general form, what all we need to do is solve this equation for y and write it in this form so that we can find the slope. Let's do that. Let's find the slope of each of these lines. Solve each equation for y to determine its slope. Let's take the first equation. Negative 4x plus 3y equal to 4. To solve for y, we first move the negative 4x from left to right. That will give me 3y equal to negative 4x from left comes to the right, become positive 4x plus 4. Divide by 3. We get 3y divided by 3 equal to 4x divided by 3 plus 4 over 3. Or we get y equal to 4/3 x plus 4/3. Now look at this. We have now got the equation of the form y equal to mx plus b. and that means the 4/3. What does the 4/3 represent here? That is the slope of the graph of this. Alright. Similarly, we now go and find the slope of the second equation. We know m1 equal to 4/3. Let's now go and take the second equation and solve for y there also. What do? Move the negative 8x to the right, so that we've got 6y equal to 8x. The right side here is 0. So 6y equal to 8x. Divide each term by 0. Divide by not 0. Divide by 6. 6y divided by 6 equal to 8x divided by 6. And you see 8 divided by 6 is the same as 4/3. Therefore, y equal to 4/3x is this equation. Now, if you compare it with the equation y equal to mx plus b, what does it tell you? It tells you the slope of this is 4/3 and b equal to 0. It means the graph of this will pass through the origin. Well, what you now have is two lines that have the same slope. So slope m2 equal to 4/3. Both lines have the same slope. That means they are two parallel lines. Is that right? I want you to draw the graph of that equation and see whether you can. Let's do one more problem before we close this lesson. Determine if the following pair of lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Now, how do you know if two lines are parallel? If two lines are parallel, their slopes will be the same. If two lines are perpendicular, then the product of their slopes will be -1. If none of these conditions are satisfied, then they will neither be parallel nor be perpendicular. Alright, what do we do to determine if these two lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Well, let's take each of these and determine its slope. How do we determine the slope of the graph of an equation given like this? First of all, we solve for y. Alright, let's do that. Solve each equation for y to determine its slope. Alright, let's take 3x minus 5y equal to -1. To solve for y, first of all, move the 3x from the left to the right. We get -5y equal to 3x coming from the left to right become -3x minus 1. And what do we do now? Divide every term of the equation by -5. Divide each term by -5. So -5y divided by -5 equal to -3x divided by -5 minus 1 over -5. And that is -5y divided by -5 is y. -3x divided by -5. Negative divided by negative become positive. Here also, these two negatives will make that positive. So, that gives me y equal to 3/5. Is that right? 3/5x plus 1/5. Alright. What is the slope of the graph of this equation? This is now of the form y equal to mx plus b. This is the m, the slope, 3/5. This is b. What does b tell you? B tells you where on the y-axis will the graph cut. Alright, we are only interested in the slope. So let's take that value and write m1 equal to 3 over 5. The slope of the first line is 3 over 5. Alright, let's take the second one. 5x plus 3y equal to 2. Okay, let's solve for y from here. What is the first step? Move the 5x from left to right. That gives me 3y equal to negative 5x plus 2. What is the next step? Divide each term by 3 so that we solve for y. 3y divided by 3 equal to negative 5x divided by 3 plus 2 over 3. Well, negative 5x over 3 will become negative 5 over 3x. And that gives me, after cancelling the 3's, we got y equal to, this is negative on the numerator, positive on the denominator, gives me negative 5 over 3x plus 2 over 3. Well, what does the negative 5 over 3 represent? That is the slope of the graph of this line. So m2 equal to negative 5 over 3. What was the slope of our first line? Well, the slope of the first line was 3 over 5. So what is m1 times m2 equal to? m1 times m2 is 3 over 5 times negative 5 over 3. If you notice that this number is the negative reciprocal of 3 over 5. So what is 3 over 5 times negative 5 over 3? The 5 and the 5 positive multiplied by the negative will be negative. And 3 over 5 times 5 over 3. 3 and 3 will go, 5 and 5 will go. The answer is negative 1. The product of the slopes is negative 1. What is the conclusion? The conclusion is that these two lines are perpendicular. Alright, so we have now understood the concept of the slope, and you know how to find the slope of the graph of an equation if I give you the equation. Well, you must be very thorough with the form of the equation y equal to mx plus b. We will look at this in our next lesson also, but let's be very clear from this lesson. Y equal to mx plus b represent the equation of a line that has a slope m, and the graph will cut the y-axis at this particular value. Okay, well, I'm going to stop this lesson here. We have just one more lesson left, and I hope you are doing the homework and getting ready towards the final exam. Alright, I will see you for the last lesson a little later today.